light weights and with our hip hinge. So can you turn slightly to the side, because now you're under the microscope, Pat, because you've just got me. So roll those shoulders up, back and down. This is our lovely set position. And then you send your hips back and down and weights come down to the knees. Lovely. And then lift up. So Pat, have a look at me. What you're doing is you're bending forwards and you're doing this. You want to send your bum out and then come back up again. So not even that far down. So down to the kneecaps and then that's it. Good. Lifting. Down to the kneecaps and lifting. And you, in essence, you're sticking your bum out here. And that's because we're working those bum muscles. Good. Down and up. And this is just our little warm-up. So this is just to warm up the back of the body. Again, you probably don't feel much, but actually you can load these muscles up quite heavily. And the important part of this is the finish. So bringing those hips up to the front as you come up. Good. So sending those hips back and lifting them up. Good. And again, sending them back and lifting them up. Beautiful. So bring the weights down to the knees now. This is now our stopping point. We're going to warm the upper back up, so our dead row. Pulling the elbows out to the side. Good. And down. Elbows out to the side and down. Show you this from the front. And down. Good. So our dead row works the upper back. There's lots of different versions, lots of different angles you can do with the elbows here, but today we're just going wide for the warm-up. So lifting and lowering, keeping those wrists neutral, keeping the back long and straight, neck in line with the spine, core and glutes are keeping you stable. Good. My glutes are starting to hurt now, they're starting to burn. One more. Lift and lower, and then we finish. So bring those hips through. Good. Return to that set position, so roll those shoulders up, back and down. I want you to really feel strong and grounded here, so soft bend in those knees, chest lifted, upright rows. So push those weights together and lift them up to the centre of your chest and then back down again. Good, turn to the side so you can see, so lifting those weights up just to where the bra line is really. It's keeping those elbows nice and high. And then lowering down. Good. Again, this is the upper back we're working here. Good. But the shoulders getting a little bit of work as well. And this is probably where you'll be feeling it the most as well, Pat. You know, between the classes. And these are your postural muscles. This is going to stop you from getting that hunched over back. Good. Lifting and lowering. And lifting and lowering. Two more, just like that. So lift and lower, and lift and lower. Good, lovely. Roll those shoulders up, back and down. Nice, we're just going to do a very quick warm up for the core and the shoulders. So again, lightweight, soft bend in the knees. Bring one hand up in front of you. Arm is straight, swap hands. So lifting and lowering, good. Keep that body nice and still. Lovely. So the fronts of the shoulders getting a bit of work here. Having to stabilise through the core. Good. Lifting and lowering. Nice. And lifting and lowering. So one more time on each side. Good. Now we're going to use our chair. So get rid of the light weights. I want you to have your slightly heavier weight because you've got one up from that. And this is going to be very simple. It's going to be sitting down on the chair and just holding that weight. And then you're going to stand up and sit down again. And straight away stand up again and sit down. So don't get too comfy, stand up. Good. So sit down and stand up. Nice. it down. And as you stand up, bring your hips forwards, and you can bring that weight out in front of you, and then bring that weight towards the core. Good. So weight out, and weight towards the core. Good. Nice and slow down, and then stand up. Nice and slow down. 2 more just like that. Oh, and she fell over. Nice and slow. And then come up. Lovely. Well done. Come back down. Little change now. We're going to stand up, and then we're going to lift the weight above our head. So 4 moves, all right? So stand up, lift the weight above your head, return, and sit. Stand up, lift, lower. And you've got grandkids, haven't you, Pat?
Sorry?
You've got grandkids, right?
Oh yes.
How many?
5.
And are they little? Do you lift them up?
No, not much. They're all as tall as me now.
Okay. So you can tickle them under their arms when they're reaching up onto the high shelf for you.
Funny, because one of my grandsons, I actually say I'm really gone now.
You say what?
I'm gone.
Yeah. One more time. You're doing great. Well done. Lovely. So that's the chair. That's the chair work done. I'm nice and hot now, so we're going to get rid of the chair. So that's a really good one to do, a really good one to remember. It's just helpful to be able to get up and down off chairs and to add a little bit of weight to it. Now we're going to go back to our lovely glute bridges. But because we've already...
It's almost like a squat position, isn't it?
It is a squat. That's exactly what it is. It's just you've got that support, you've got that thing to aim for. Because often, if I tell people to squat, they'll often do that and see the hips are doing nothing. And all they're doing is putting strain on their knees. Whereas if they've got something to aim for, then they tend to sit the bum back more. And that's all the hip hinge is. Good. So can you angle your screen down? We're going to do our glute bridges. We've done a lot of weights already on those hips, so we're going to go straight into the single leg glute bridges. So setting up on the back. Nice. Heels as close to your hips as you can get them. Snuggle your head in and look at the ceiling. Hands can be wherever. I tend to sort of hold on to my mat. And then lift your hips up to the sky. So we're just going to do a few glute bridges just to get that muscle memory, and then bring those hips down. 3 more like that. So just lifting your hips up and then bringing them back down again. Good. So glute bridge number 3, and then lowering down, and the last one, lifting and lowering. Good. Now we're going to lift our hips up. This is now neutral. This is now our starting point. And you're going to lift your left leg up to the sky. Point the toe. Keep it there. Okay, bring it down. Keep the hips high. Swap over other side. Good. Nice and slow, Pat. That's just what I want to see. Lovely. Keep the leg there. Okay, nice and slow. Swapping over. Left leg lifts. Hold it there. Keep pushing that foot towards the ceiling, and we swap slowly. Bring the leg down, and the right leg lifts. Keep it there. I want you to move in slow motion, Pat, okay? So bring the leg down. Lovely. Left leg lifts. Point it to the sky. Slow motion, 1 more time on each side. You're doing great. Right leg lifts. Hold it there. And bring it down. Bring the hips down. Hug your knees into your chest. Well done. Single leg glute bridge is so good for just keeping both sides nice and strong. Grab the backs of your thighs, roll yourself up. And I want you to bring one of your heavier weights with you. So we're going to do some tricep extensions just with the one weight. So in the same position, feet flat on the floor, head down, arms up to the sky. This is where we start. And then it's called a skull crusher because you bring those weights down to the forehead. but you keep pointing the elbows up to the sky. So down to the forehead and back up again. Good, so good for the backs of the arms. We're isolating the triceps here. So forehead and sky. Good. So keep those elbows nice and tight, squeezing them together. Good. Okay, let's change the tempo. So we're going to go down for 3. So down for 3, 2, 1, and then lift. So just like we did with those sitting on the chairs. Down slowly, 2, 1, and then lift. 3, 2, 1, and lift. And one more like that. 3, 2, 1, and lift. Good. And now we stay with our arms up high towards the sky, and we're going to add a glute bridge. So bring those glutes up, hips up. This is now neutral. We're going to do those tricep extensions, 3, 2, 1. So 3, 2, 1, and up. That's it. Keep those hips high. 3, 2, 1, and up. So good. We get 2 for the price of 1 here. Lovely. Squeezing those elbows. 3, 2, 1. Lovely. 2 more, Pat. You're doing great. 2, 1. Keep those hips high. Keep them even. Keep pushing down into the floor. Last one. And then bring those weights down and bring the hips down. Well done. Okay. This is now the climax of the glute bridges and the tricep extensions. You're going to bring your hips up and your hands up at the same time. Come into an extension. Lovely. Bring the weight up and bring the hips down. Let's do that again. So hips up, weights up, extension, lift to the sky and lower. Good. 2 more like that. So lift, extend, lift and lower. Last one. Keep those elbows nice and tight. Lift, extend, lift and lower. Beautiful. Well done. Okay, grab the backs of your thighs, roll yourself up, get rid of that weight. I'm going to give you a little tutorial here on push-ups, because of course push-up challenge next month. So you want to start off in all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And we were just doing a tricep press. And with that tricep press, remember I said about the elbows being really tight. So we're going to do a tricep push-up. So the first thing you need to remember is to keep pushing your shoulders forward. Your shoulders don't want to come back here, right? So keep pushing those shoulders forwards. Tuck your elbows in tight and bring your chest down. So I can only just see the top of you. I can't see what your elbows are doing. Tucking those elbows in tight and then pushing away. And see how when I come up, I keep pushing, driving those shoulders forwards. My neck is in line with my spine. I'm not overextending. Good. Keep pushing, driving those shoulders forwards. Pat, you're doing great. Drive the shoulders forwards. Good. 2 more. 1 and 2. Well done. Sink back into child's pose. Take a moment just to get your breath. Well done. Lovely. Okay, going to come onto our backs now and we're going to do some chest flies. So 2 heavier weights, 2 of the heavier weights. Starting in that, you would think all we ever do is lie down in this class, right? We spend most of our time on our backs. Lovely, so arms above our heads. And with the chest fly, you open your arms out. It's called a fly because you kind of want to think about wings, and then you bring those weights up to meet above the chest again. So nice and controlled, opening those arms wide and then squeezing them up. So it's still the chest that we're working, but the triceps are getting a little bit of a break here and the biceps are helping. So lots of pec, lots of those chest muscles and lots of biceps as well. Good. And also the core. Lovely. 1 more just like that, nice and slow, opening and closing. And now, stop there, keep your hands up to the sky. Option if you want to, just to make it a little bit harder, bring those knees up to 90 degrees. So the shins are parallel to the ground. Keep the core switched on. And then go into your chest fly. Opening and closing. Good. So opening and closing. Oh yes. Much harder this one because you've got to stabilise through the core. So if you start to get tired, you know, try and do 4. We've done 4 now. You can always take a little break if you need to by bringing your feet down. Keep that chest working and keep the core working. Lovely. Right, we're going to change the tempo now and make it harder. So your choice whether you've got your feet up or not. We're going to open wide and then squeeze the weights up. So open and stop. Squeeze up. Now the core is actually the brakes, so the core is what stops. Nice, and lift, beautiful. And again, open and stop, and lift. We're halfway through the class, just so you know. Open and stop, and lift. 2 more, just like that. You're doing great, Pat. Open and stop, and lift. Last one. Open and stop, and lift. Beautiful, well done. Bring those weights down to the belly, bring the feet down. Grab the backs of your thighs, roll up and discard your weights. While we're here, we've already woken the core up. Let's do a little bit more core. So coming back to our lying down position with our knees at 90 degrees. Now the 90-degree angle stays. The rest of the body stabilises, have as much contact with the floor as you can, and you're just going to tap either the toe or the heel, whatever touches the floor first. Good. And then tap the other side. Good. Slow it down. Slow motion. The slower you do it, the harder it is. We want control here. Good. Lowering and lifting. Returning to that neutral position. The neutral position here, the shins are parallel. And what can happen is as you get tired, those legs start to come up. Reset. Shins parallel. Tapping the toes. Nice. Slow it down. Nice and slow. Nice and controlled. Beautiful. Hip flexors getting a bit of work here. Lower abs. Make sure that lower back is flush with the mat. Squeezing, pulling that belly button down towards the floor. 2 more, Pat, you're doing great. That's 1. That's 2. Lovely. Hug your knees into your chest. Have a little roll around. Stretch that back out. Okay, bring the feet to the floor. Just going to do a glute bridge to stretch that back out before we come up to standing. So nice glute bridge, just sending those hips up high. Inhaling, exhaling, hips down, grab the backs of your thighs and roll up. So we're going to work that upper back a little bit more. We're going to use the heavier weights. So similar, pretty much the same as what we did in the warm-up, but this time with the 2 heavier weights. So safe handling of weights, making sure your back is long and straight. Lovely set position, arms are hanging. Keep that chest high. You're going to start with that hip hinge, bring the weights down to the knees, and then pull. Lower and stand up. So because you've got me in a 1-to-1 capacity, I'm going to talk you through this. So follow me, starting in set. Hinge, pull, lower and stand. 4 moves. You got it. Well done. So hinge, pull, lower and stand up. Just like that. Keep going. So hinging, pulling, lowering and standing. Nice. Now what we do in this class is mainly endurance, which is light weights, lots of repetitions. If you were working towards strength, you could add lots and lots of weight and do 3 or 4 of these repetitions. So depends on what your goals are. For me, I just want to have a good life. Yeah, I just want to be healthy, I just want to be able to do things, Nice, good posture and manage all of my health conditions. Good. So endurance is actually better on the body because it's lighter weights, but also you've got to make sure you do good form with it and you're not injuring yourself. Good, Pat, lovely. You're doing really well. Keep that chest high, back straight. Good. One more time, and then we're going to change it up. Back to the upright rows, which means we're now standing up. So reset back to set position. Got quite heavy weights now. Remember the wrists are neutral, and remember we lead with the elbows. And the target area here is the lower part, so bra line basically, and then back down again. You don't have to go up super high. So lifting and lowering. And again, because it's that endurance that we're working in, sometimes it doesn't really feel like you're doing very much, but you will feel it the next day. Lifting and lowering. Good. Right, let's change the tempo on the next one. We're going to come up fast and then resist the weight down. And again, lift and lower. Now we need to recruit that core. So lock that body in. Good. And again, lift and stop. Body doesn't move. Nice. See the gentle bend in my knees and see how the weights are close to the body. Lift and stop. And one more. Lift and stop and lower. Well done. No problem. I'll grab one as well. We've got one more. We're going to work the biceps next, and then we're going to do our cool down. Right. So back to where we were. We're just going to turn those weights around. So hammer curl. The weights start like this, and we just bring them up and bring them down. So lifting and lowering, keeping those elbows glued to the side of the body. Again, the body is locked in that nice set position. Nothing else moves, it's just the lower arm, lifting and lowering. Good. Lifting and lowering. Let's do two more just like that. The biceps, the front of the arms, good. And then we're going to start with the weights next to us. So now we get to work the front of the arm. So roll those shoulders up, back and down, and then rotate those wrists as you come up and then come back down again. Wrists neutral, Pat. Remember the neutral wrists. Good. Lifting and lowering. Lifting and lowering. And this is the most recognisable of all the weightlifting moves, the bicep curl, and also the one that probably has the most impact on what your arms look like from the front, lifting and lowering. But having those strong biceps just makes a huge difference to life. Good. Lifting and lowering. Now we're going to change the tempo. So we're going to come up to halfway, hold it there, and come down slowly. Come up to halfway and stop, and lower. Again, a lot of core here. And down. Lift and stop, and down. Good. Lift and stop. This is now our starting point. We're now just going to do the top half. So lifting and coming down to there. Lifting and coming down. Nice. Well done. Oof. Let's do 4 more of those, Pat. Keep your wrists neutral and you're in control. Remember, lifting and lowering. Slow. Lovely. One more. Well done. Oh, bring those weights down. Roll those shoulders up, back and down. And we're just going to do some deadlifts to finish us off. So deadlift, this time with more weight on it. I want you to see what it feels like. And then come back up again. So try to keep your chest high and stick your bum out. Good. And then come back. So chest high, neck in line with spine. See how my neck is in line with my spine. And then lift. Good. And again. Probably feels different with the heavier weights as well. Actually much better with the heavier weights.
It's the first time I've managed the whole thing with heavier weights.
Ah, you've done really well. Progress is very, very quick. Good. All the way down. We haven't done shoulders though today, which we would have normally done with lighter weights.
Yeah.
So down, and I recommend doing the shoulders with lighter weights anyway. Lovely. And one more. Really getting that muscle memory on the hip hinge is really a really important part of doing this class well. Going to get you to get rid of those weights now. Safe handling of weights, pop them down. Lovely. All the hard work is done. We're in stretchy mode now. So roll those shoulders up, back and down. Stick your chest out and send your arms.
I'm going to have to disappear for a minute.
Oh, that's okay.
I don't know whether I'll get back before you finish because I need to go to the loo desk for a minute.
That's fine, that's fine. Have a little stretch after, okay? I've got some videos. I'll send you a video that you can do. No worries, Pat.
Okay.
Lovely to see you.
And tomorrow 1:30.
Yes, I've emailed them actually. That's one of the things I did. So I'll let you know what they say.
Okay, thank you.
Take care. So opening your chest out and stretching through the front of the body. Imagining you're on the front of the Titanic. Biceps getting a stretch here as well. Just holding it. And then slowly bring your arms around, clasp them. Now we round through the back, we pull the shoulder blades apart. Stretching the upper back. And clasp those hands. Nice. Tricep stretch. Bring your right arm up. Send it behind you. Left arm takes a hold of the elbow. And we stretch the back of the arm. I can feel my bicep against my face. Can add a little side bend if you want to as well. And then opening out again, cheeky little chest stretch here. And then the left arm goes behind you and the right arm takes a hold of the elbow. Coming into that lovely tricep stretch. And adding the side bend. Good. We need to stretch our core, so we're going to come down onto the floor into a Sphinx pose, coming down onto your belly, aligning your elbows under your shoulders. So elbow under shoulder, forearms on the ground, feet, tops of the feet on the ground, and squeezing your glutes here, getting a lovely stretch in that lower back. In addition, we're stretching the core. So from that core work we did, inhaling, looking forwards, looking out to the horizon, and exhaling, looking over one shoulder. The obliques getting a nice stretch. Inhaling to centre, and exhaling over to the other side. Good. And then coming back to centre. Bring your hands where your elbows were, and come on back into child's pose or puppy pose. So sending those hips back towards the heels, forehead comes down to the ground. So stretching the upper back, stretching the shoulders, relaxing the nervous system here. Lovely. And then we need to stretch our glutes, because we've done a lot of work on our glutes. So coming onto your back. And you're going to start by crossing your left ankle over your right knee and then pushing that knee away. Gently holding it there. Just feeling that stretch in the gluteus maximus. And then uncross and go to the other side. Now, I can't do it hugely on this one because of the hip replacement, but you get the idea, same as on the other side. Right ankle over left knee and then push the knee away. Stretching down the back. That doesn't feel so good for me, so I'm just going to hold that there. Still working on my range of motion. So important, just as important to stretch as it is to warm up, and just as important to have recovery as it is to have the workout. So make sure you have a drink, make sure you have some protein, something healthy to eat, and if you can get outside for a little walk, it'll probably be some really good active recovery. And thank you very much.